Hypercam, you may hear the music less because you're only picking up what you heard from my headset. Anyway, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that these two files are exactly the same size. You're going to go by the one that the emulator did because that is the exact length of your video. Now, if you want to know the exact length of your audio file, you're going to look right down here. You can see that this is 56 seconds, 0.739. So that's what we want this one to be. So when we click over here, we see it's 57,790. So it's a little bit longer, which is usually going to be the case. So we want it to be 56,739. So what you do is you're going to zoom in, and you can do that any number of ways. You could right click and hit zoom. You can go to view and hit zoom. I just use the scroll on my wheel mouse, scroll up and zoom in. Now we're going to go to the end because that's usually where the discrepancy is. Now usually you're going to see it be flat at the end because you've stopped talking and recording, but because I've been talking continuously, you see all these waveforms. That's okay. I'm just going to not worry about that. So once again, let's cross-reference 56.739. So we're going to come over here and we're going to drag that. Okay, and if it's dragging too slowly, you could just zoom out a little. 56.739. And you get it as close as you can. Okay, now if you can't get it, you could zoom in further for more exacting for more precision. Once you have it there where it says that, come over here and hit the trim button again. Now both are the same. Now you're going to want to mix them. What you do is take the one with the game music, right click on it, and we're going to hit copy. And we're going to click over here and we're going to hit the mix button, not the paste button or the paste new, but the mix button. Now you're going to decide what the mix is. Now I always use the same mix. When I do my videos, the focus is on my commentary, so I keep the volume relatively low of the game so you can hear it, but you mostly hearing my voice. So you drag this down. Now I go by this number here, the percentage, and I drag it down to right here, 9.67%. And I hit OK, and it's going to mix. Now sometimes that takes a while, but since that was a very short file, it went very quickly. Now we're going to save the file. Make sure you're saving the right one, the new one, which is called Untitled. I'm going to save as, give it a name. I gave it the same name, and then select your file type to be MP3. Now, this is what I use. Layer 3, 44,100 hertz, 128 kilobytes per second stereo. You have a plethora of options, but that's what works for me. Hit save. Sometimes this can take a while. If you're using an 11-minute file, it's going to take a couple of minutes. As you see, this is really fast because, as I said, this is a short file. Okay, we can close both of these because we don't need them anymore. Now I come over here to our streams. We have the one stream, but we're going to add the new stream. So hit add, select your MP3, select it here. You'll see that it says MP3, so you can't really confuse the two. You can hit move up. Now that's dominant. Now we're going to get rid of the input AVI file stream. We're going to click it, and you're going to hit either delete, or sometimes this won't say delete. Sometimes it'll say disable. It doesn't matter. You're going to hit it, and sometimes it won't disappear. Sometimes lines will just go through it. That's fine. It still means it's gone. Hit OK. All right, now it's time to save the file. So we're just going to go to File, Save As, give it a name. We'll call it Abadox Test. And save as file type is going to be Audio Video Interlace, or AVI. None of this should be clicked. Don't worry about all this stuff. Don't click any of that. Here's where you want. Video mode is full processing mode. This means that it will re-encode. We don't want it to re-encode because the emulator already encoded the video for us. So you're going to select direct stream copy, which means it's going to use the already existing encode. This is also a lot faster. There won't be any compression because you're not recompressing. Hit save. This should go pretty quickly. And there we have it. And then I could watch it if I wanted to. So I'm going to double click it now so we could watch it. See? And let me just skip it to the middle so you could see where I was playing. It's ready for YouTube. Now, if you're using Hypercam and you have the video all ready to go, you can just upload it straight to YouTube as Hypercam spits it out because it's already encoded. But I still use Virtual Dub Mod to make the files smaller, because what I'll do is I'll take the wave out, turn it into an MP3, and then put it back on and replace the wave with the MP3 to make the file size shorter. But you don't have to do that. That's just so I can fit more videos onto a DVD. That being said, I think I covered everything. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them. But remember, I'm not going to tell you where to download games, and I'm not going to tell you where to download programs that are not free. If the programs are free, such as the lame MP3 encoder, or what else did I mention that was free? Well, there was a couple of them that the emulators are free. All you need is Google. Now, if you want to know which emulators to use, where to get them all, there's a great resource that you could use, tsvideos.org. This is where I get most of my emulators that have the recording feature. This is going a little slow. Don't know why. Maybe the site is experiencing difficulties, but you're going to come here and you just click on emulators, and it's going to recommend all the best emulators for every system. They don't always agree with me. Like, they use Diga for the Master System. They use Mupen64 exclusively for N64. For TurboGrafx, they use MednaFen. Never even heard of that. And for DS, they use DESMU.me or whatever. So I don't always use the same emulators as them, but all of these emulators should have movie recording features, and most of them will have AVI recording features. So that is my tutorial on how to make files. Now let me just show you. Here's my input AVI file. You could see that it was 7.19 megabytes, and that's pretty big for something that's less than a minute. Here's my final version, which is 3.29 megabytes. So simply by taking out the wave audio and compressing it to MP3 and then putting it back on as an MP3 and eradicating the wave audio, I've chopped the file size in half. So when you're trying to get uploads done in a timely manner and you're trying to get, not too much storage space, I just keep this folder here, vids, which right now doesn't have much in it. It only has about 200 megs because I just burned the DVD yesterday. So just keep that in mind. I have, once that gets to be about 4 gigs, I burn it to a DVD and I delete it. So hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them, but I'm not going to hold your hand in getting programs. Well, that's it. I know you guys have been asking me about this. I'm not going to do any further tutorials after this, so if anybody asks me, how do you do your videos? I'm just going to sit Carl and go to the fucking tutorial, dumbass. So, peace.